Welcome everyone. In today's episode, we will talk about a very iconic and most of all beloved TV show that formed part of the childhood of many of our listeners.
That's right, a show that shares the same name as its main character, SpongeBob SquarePants. As some of you may already know, this is an American cartoon television series created by the animator, cartoonist, and marine biologist Stephen Hillenburg. May he rest in peace.
It was created for the Nickelodeon network and premiered on May 1, 1999. Hillenburg initially conceived SpongeBob SquarePants in 1984 while he was teaching and studying marine biology at what is now the Orange County Ocean Institute.
The series follows the adventures of SpongeBob SquarePants in the functional underwear city of Bikini Bottom, with his various friends such as Patrick Star and Sandy Cheeks, his neighbor Squidward Tentacles, and SpongeBob Boss, better known as Mr. Krabs.
They are played by Thomas James Kenny, William Fagerback, Caroline Lawrence, Roger Vampas, and Clancy Brown respectively.
SpongeBob SquarePants is the fifth longest running American animated series. Its popularity has made it a franchise, as well as the series with the highest air share ever aired on Nickelodeon.
It's amazing how SpongeBob is still a rather popular cartoon series, having been in the childhood of many kids and being an honor to mention that we were part of that group that grew up with such an iconic series.
But of course, it's the best series ever. I mean, guys, what are the funniest scenes you remember the most? My favorite episode is when all the SpongeBob's friends, including him, are the Van Jigs, full of argument because they keep disappointing Squidward. It's so comical.
Oh yes, I remember it. I think it's so interesting how this cartoon usually left an important message in every episode. For example, we saw the level of friendship that SpongeBob has with Patrick or his neighbor Squidward, Sandy, Mr. Krabs, and others. Sometimes they can be such selfish people towards each other, but at the end of the episode they fix the problem.
Agreed. SpongeBob is such a memorable show, whether it is because of the story in each episode, or the funny moments that sprout hundreds of reaction images for the internet, and a quote for almost everything.
And don't forget about the very first movie. It's so memorable that any person who truly knows SpongeBob could miss it.
Of course! I was always so excited as a kid when it was announced on TV. Even to this day, if I hear about it being broadcasted, I'll be sure to watch it. That movie is so nostalgic. The comedy and animation are so good, and the ending song is both hilarious but fitting.
Absolutely. The movies that were released in theaters years later, like SpongeBob Out of Water in 2015, directed by Paul Tibbitt and Mike Michels, are alright. But truth be told, neither that one nor the ones that came after could ever replicate the emotion of the first.
Yeah, that is true. And there is something unique about the 2D style as well. Even if it has evolved through the years, it keeps its charm.
Indeed, it's hard to believe that his show is still so popular among young kids. It's nice to watch them share this particular experience with us. I will probably talk about SpongeBob to my own kids, if I ever have any.
Honestly, yeah, even if not around anymore, though that's unlikely really, it's something many adults are and still will be fond of, and will want to share of or talk about with younger generations.
Very much so. We may be out of time for today, but it's been such a nostalgic trip down memory lane. And we hope it was the same for you, dear listeners.
Thank you so much for tuning in and see you in the next episode of this podcast.